During the German and Soviet conflict on the Eastern Front, the Germans developed a magnetic grenade. They stuck it on the hull of Soviet tanks, and then they thought something. If they had made magnetic explosives, what stopped the Allies from doing it? What stopped the Americans, the British, or the Soviets developing their own magnetic mine? And so, that led to the German invention of Zimmerit. So, Zimmerit was a paste that was first initially applied to tanks in factories, but then the Panzer crew got their own kits to do it themselves. The mixture was mainly made up of barium sulfate, which took up 40% of the mixture, followed by polyvinyl acetate, to make it stick of course. That covered 25% of the mixture, 15% of it was a pigment, and then 10% was zinc sulfate, and the other 10% was the relatively cheap sawdust. So, this was applied to tanks in factories from December 43 to September 44. Now, the first layer would be applied and then left to dry for 24 hours. Then the second layer would be applied. This would give it the same colour as the tank's metal. After the second layer, they'd put a rake through it to give it a distinctive pattern and to make it look like camouflage, and then it would be hardened by using a blowtorch on it. Now, the problem was there was no recollection of the Allies ever using magnetic grenades, and if they did, it still would have had a very low chance of sticking to the Zimmerit, but not as high as having metal on metal contact. So, when this paste was first introduced, it was only put on the hull, because that's where the Allies are going to most likely put a mine, because they're not going to reach up and put it on the turret, are they? But then, they did apply it to the turret. Now this was the crews themselves, thinking ahead. But the Allies never used magnetic mines, and other anti-tank weapons proved more effective than magnetic mines. And this led to the downfall of Zimmerit. But many tanks today that you see in museums can be seen with Zimmerit on. So that was the famous magnetic proof German paste. If you like what you've seen here, leave a like. If you like all my history videos so far, you might as well subscribing to be the first to know about the latest releases. And I'll see you on Sunday for one of the most bloodiest conflicts in the world.